Kogi State governorship election is scheduled for December 3rd. That is next Saturday. One of the candidates running for office there, the PDP's Captain Idris Wada, a former pilot, is widely regarded as a favorite, but internal problems within his party, the PDP, over his candidature is yet to die down completely. It remains to be seen if this could undermine his chances in the election and prevent his party from retaining the state. One of the allegations leveled against Captain Wada is that he had never been a member of the PDP and as such was not qualified to have contested the party's governorship primaries in the state, which he won. Well, when I sat down with Mr. Wada recently, that was the first question I put to him. Take a listen.
It is an absolute lie. It's totally untrue. I have been a member of PDP since 2005. I was nominated by our state in 2007 as one of the 10 people nominated for ministerial position and federal appointments. I was appointed as chairman of Governing Council of Federal College of Education Technical, Potiskum, a position I have held until the 12th of September 2011.
And of course, you held that position by virtue of being a member of the PDP.
Of course. It's only PDP members were nominated by the government of Kogi State to the federal government for such appointment. I was a member of the Jonathan Sambo presidential campaign team of elders in Kogi State. If you are not a member of PDP, your name cannot be on that list. I was also one of those nominated in 2011 for ministerial appointment and federal appointment for Kogi State. 10 people. I was one of them. Nobody protested. I have been a committed and loyal member of PDP since 2005. I've been a financial member. I've supported the party at the local level, and I have been well known at the state level of our party. So these are just sour grapes. These are people who maybe for one reason or the other, because of the level at which I have come out and the impact my candidacy has made, are throwing mudds at me, trying to pull me down and things like that. But I cannot be discouraged by such because I'm a citizen of Nigeria, citizen of Kogi State, and I have a right, just like everyone else, to compete at that level at the time that I choose to.
Why the interest in becoming the governor of Kogi State anyway?
My interest was activated by the transformation agenda of President Goodluck Jonathan. I have traveled all over the world. I have good education. I've contributed to public service as well as in business. At my age, I feel if an opportunity arises to serve a larger mass of our people, one should take it, because after all, what am I looking for in my life? It is service to humanity. And governor is a position where you can impact on the lives of a lot of people in your state. And I believe I'm adequately equipped. I'm a committed person, a disciplined person, a focused person. I believe I can add value to the lives of people.
Talking about
part of the transformation.
Talking about adding values now, what exactly are those things that you intend to change in Kogi State, or probably, as you have been saying on the campaign trail, that the present governor has done well and that you're going to continue from where he stops? So what are those things that you probably would be doing differently?
I intend to transform agriculture in Kogi State. We have a very large quantum of arable land. We will bring in mechanized agriculture with appropriate technology at the medium and small scale level to improve the yield of our farmers. Most of our farmers are subsistence farmers. They use traditional methods of farming in the 21st century. I believe we can bring in technology which is appropriate to improve their yield per hectare and also income for themselves and their family, which is improvement of lives. We have a lot of solid minerals. Agricultural products, we tie into the value chain driven agriculture being promoted by the CBN and the federal government as part of the transformation agenda. We tie into that products from agriculture, value chain driven, who form basis of cottage industries. We have a lot of solid minerals. We establish small, medium scale industries, employ a lot of our youth empower them, train them, give them vocational training in education. We focus on qualitative education, moral education, vocational education. So when people come out of school, if there is no jobs for them in government, they can do things for themselves. You know, there's tourism potential in Kogi State. We will transform Kogi State into a haven for people to come and relax, play golf, play tennis, swim. You know, look at the natural resources of River Niger and Benue, confluencing in Lokoja. We need to take advantage of such things to make economic potential of our state grow. So I believe we'll focus on tourism. On roads, the present government has done a lot, consider a lot of kilometers of roads. We'll add value to that. The ones that they've done surface dressing, we'll do asphalt, we'll lay asphalt on them and transfer them into roads that will last for another 30 years or so. Then we'll also carry out maintenance of some of the existing roads. You know, there's a road maintenance agency. We empower that agency to be useful to the, to the state.